Hey everyone, it's Josh Vision. In today's video, I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, how much longer it will take for Athelwolf to go off in some shape or form or fashion against his father, King Ecbert's treatment of him. Now, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, it doesn't really matter. But I feel as though at some point, Athelwolf should lash out at Ecbert. Because let's be honest here, I think for the past four seasons, I believe Ecbert and Athelwolf appeared in season two, so 3 seasons, 3.5 seasons, give or take. The only time you ever see Ecbert show any faith in Athelwolf is when it comes to battle. He trusts him as a military commander and gets some props for that. Besides that, Ecbert is completely dismissive and abusive towards his son. And abusive not so physically, but verbally and just straight up disrespect. We have to remember, and I believe this is really focusing on during season three. Aethelwolf's wife, Judith, cheated on him with Athelstan. As we know, that little union creates Alfred the Great. So, even though I didn't agree with Judith getting her damn ear cut off, and it would have been much worse if Egbert wasn't able to convince Aethelwolf and the people that this was a sign from God and that this child's blessed and all that good jazz. Um, it's understandable why Aethelwolf would be so enraged about the whole Judah thing, adultery, especially back then, especially during those times when a woman was not allowed to cheat on her husband, but her husband could do damn near anything he wants. But whatever. We're gonna stay focused for this video on the topic at hand. So there was a scene in which Ecbert was kind of goading, kind of bragging about Judas and Athelstan's son, Alfred. I believe this was the very first episode in which he was asking Judith, how's Alfred doing? Is he healthy? All this stuff. Keep in mind, he's doing this all in front of Aethelwolf. And at some point, you're like, wow, that is complete disrespect, man. That's your son. You know your son feels like shit. He feels betrayed. If you're gonna ask all this shit, why not do it in private when you're with her? You're the fucking king. Just do it in private. You don't have to like literally have your son be witness to this. You know what I mean? Like lack of respect right there. And even the fact that Egbert slapped Aethelwolf for his reaction, which was clearly justifiable. The next point I want to make is when Egbert literally sent Athelwolf to Queen K's kingdom, R.I.P. Queen K, by the way, and Mercia, knowing full well that most likely Athelwolf will be killed by Queen K. And what was his reason for that? He did it as a necessary sacrifice in order for him to have reason to go to war against Mercia and then eventually take over Mercia and add pretty much annex it with Wessex, increasing his power in England for his goal of ultimately being the king of all of England, all that crap. So, once again, you're willing to sacrifice your own son for the necessary good. And then, literally, not only did he tell that to Judith, whatever, he says, you know what? I will take an interest in Alfred because he is Athelstan's son. And I will make sure that both of your sons, but once again, especially Alfred, will be taken care of. But Judith, all you have to do is be my mistress. Like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, Egbert. Once again, your son's wife, and you're literally telling her that I'll protect Alfred, but I want some sex from you because you're really hot. I want to fuck you, even though you're my son's wife. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? And which is interesting about that is that when he finds out that Aethelwolf was able to survive that encounter with Queen K, he's surprised. It took him aback. He was like, what the? He survived? You know? And then the next scene, you have Aethelwolf kind of confront Ecbert, kinda, sorta, you know, but he essentially says to his dad, you're the greatest father in the world. You wouldn't send your son to die at the hands of an enemy, essentially, or someone we knew was going to kill me outright. And Ecbert, I think this is truly the first time Ecbert showed literally some, what's the word? Some, I wouldn't say regret. I would say guilt. Then again, it's interchangeable. I think if he had to do the thing again, he would still do it. But there was obviously some chinks in the armor, if you know what I'm saying. And he covers this up by saying, you know what, son? There has been no ruler that hasn't there's been no ruler that has been able to successfully give his throne to his male heir without conflict. But to you, my son, I will give the whole of England to you. Then again, you wonder, King Ecbert does really fancy Alfred, you know? So who's to say he wouldn't find some way to bypass Athelwolf and give to Alfred or some shit? And now that we're on Alfred, he's so fixated on Alfred. Doesn't he have another grandson by Athelwolf? And he shows complete lack of Athelwolf through Athelwolf's son by focusing in more on Athelstan's kid instead of Athelwolf's kid. And then the whole thing with season 4, he starts to literally, like, it's not even a secret at this point, especially on season 4A and 4B. He's deliberately sleeping with Judith, having her be in his bed. Once again, utter disrespect towards Athelwolf. It's like, and also, I think, then again, I think that's, pretty much, it in regards, so far at least. But the point of this video is that Ecbert has been a total dick towards Athelwolf. So this brings me to my final point. How long will it take until Athelwolf gets some type of, oh, I wouldn't say vengeance, but at least gets what he's owed? And the way the series is going, I feel as though it might happen around episode 8 or 9, before episode 10, which will be the season finale for season 4B. So what's interesting about it is, how do I see this like going on? I can see probably Athelwolf punch the shit out of his father. Because that's what I mean. Because at that point, that's what he leaves. Athelwolf should just straight up beat his ass at this point. But that is his father, and I believe he's at least gonna punch him. At least he's gonna punch him, or some type of verbal smackdown. But that's the way I see it. I believe at some point it's gonna happen. It's not just gonna, like, Ecbert can't keep doing this to Athelwolf without some type of consequence or some type of payback. So that's why I view it. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like the video if you can. Subscribe to my channel. Leave some comments down below. And this is Josh Vision. Adios.